Hey, Steve here from New Gamer Nation, and we're here with Dave Brevik, from president of Gazillion Gaming, and we're talking about Marvel Heroes. And basically, Dave, you're the more or less godfather of Diablo, right? And with that, I guess a lot of Diablo elements are now in Marvel Heroes. Could you tell us a little bit about the game? Like, it's a mix, I guess, basically between MMO and Diablo, right?
Yeah, that's right. The best way to imagine it is 25 to 50 people running around a Diablo 2 zone, rampaging and playing as the Marvel superheroes.
And as a MMO, this game obviously has all the classic elements. I'm guessing skill trees and end game and PvP. Could you talk a little bit about the end game and PvP?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, we have a full storyline that we play through. The story is written by Brian Michael Bendis, and after that, there's an end game. Lots of end game activities for either grouping or for like public areas and stuff like that. Lots of bosses and real fun things to do. And then we also have PvP that will be available at launch, where you choose for your account one of 3 factions, and then you go into PvP areas, and there's objectives and things like that to do in there. And then we have a bunch of other things that you can do, finding loot and crafting and all the kind of things you would find in a lot of MMOs.
Right, and now I guess the big thing obviously about this game is the Marvel superheroes. You start with, I guess, a certain amount and you go about unlocking them, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. We have 5 different heroes to start with. Let me see if I can remember them. Daredevil, Hawkeye, Storm, is that right? And Scarlet Witch and Thing. And so you start out with one of those 5, and then as you play, your heroes will drop off of bosses sometimes, and you can unlock new heroes and whatnot. But if there's a particular hero that you would like to start with, this is an opportunity to do that. You can go to our website and buy a specific hero so you can get access to the game, that starting hero right off the bat. You don't have to buy anything, though. The game is completely free.
Right. And the game is free to play. So how do you make money with this free to play? Aside from buying heroes, what are some other things you could buy in this free?
So mainly it's going to revolve around some small enhancement items, like a little bit of an experience boost, or it's going to be small, but mainly costumes. That's a big push for us is the costumes.
Right, and I guess that is a huge thing, because you're running around as the same, more or less you're going to have very similar characters to everyone else in the game, so the costumes will give you a little customization to make you different. Do you have any idea of around how many costumes there are currently right now? I'm guessing 100.
Yeah, there are hundreds of costumes in the game. Every character has, I think, a minimum of 5 or 6 or something like that, but there's some that have, 15. So there's a large variety. So there's actually costumes that every single hero has at least one costume in the game that you can't buy, that you have to actually chase after, and it's super rare.
And now the Marvel Universe is constantly evolving, so could you talk a little bit about how this game is going to do DLC or patch updates and all the new content that's going to come?
Yeah, so it is a real MMO. We're going to be updating it, but we don't have to do kind of the traditional MMO thing of waiting for a whole bunch of stuff to kind of come together and then releasing an expansion and then charging money for that. Since it's all free and all the updates are going to be free, we're just going to put the content out when the time is right, when we think it's done. We're going to be adding new heroes all the time. We're going to be adding new features to the game, new areas to PvP, or new challenges to the end game, or new chapters to explore, a new story and things like that. So lots and lots of possibilities and many places that we can go in the Marvel Universe.
Right. And one of the things that look really cool to me, because we were playing the demo of the game, is the loot system looks very similar to Diablo. So instead of going in a raid with a bunch of friends, you get loot kind of specific to yourself, right? Isn't that?
Yeah, that's correct. All of the loot that drops in the game that you see on your screen is for you, and it's instanced just to you. This was important for a variety of reasons. Probably number one is I was sick of playing Diablo, and I was doing all the killing, and you play with that loot vacuum, that guy that's the loot vacuum, and so So this was a chance, and you can only imagine how much worse that might be in a zone with 25 strangers running around. So we had to come up with a solution for this, and here was the perfect solution. All the loot is dropped for you, and then we can customize it to you and your character, the character that you're currently playing, as well as give you rewards proportional to how you contributed in any kind of event and things like that.
And again, the game is great. It looks great. It plays just like Diablo. Can you talk just a little bit about the difficulty? Because that's always been a big thing for fans of the series. They want, obviously, you go through the game, but when you get to the end game, you want something that is remains challenging to you.
Yeah, well, there's going to be some stuff that's really challenging. I'm also a very, very big fan of that, and so here's a chance to kind of extend what we did with Diablo 2 and kind of go to the next step and putting in, all of these specific challenges and events and PvP and things like that that we've never really had in an action game. I think that this blends a lot of different things that have never been seen before in an action role-playing game. The fact that it's an MMO, the fact that you're the Marvel IP, the fact that you're superheroes instead of kind of fantasy, traditional sword and shield kind of things, and then having these end-game activities makes it a very unique experience.
Okay, and I heard we just got a release date, was just announced the other day. When is it coming out?
Yeah, we did. We have announced the release date. The early access begins on May 28th, and then wide open access begins on June 4th.
All right, well, the game looks great. We wish you much success, and we're looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Thanks for the opportunity.